everybody.
How yin's doing?
How yin's doing? Yeah, we're talking Pittsburghese and Pittsburgh accents today.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason why. Because there's a new class at CCAC. It starts this fall, and it helps people get rid of their Pittsburgh accent. If you want to get rid of your accent.
What do you think about that?
It's kind of controversial because, you know, it makes you a Pittsburgher. I think it's good to have a little bit of the accent.
Well,
at least.
and we were chatting earlier. I think it is too. I love the Pittsburgh accent, but you know, say if you are getting ready to go for a job interview, you know, in New York City or another big city, and they're not familiar with it, I think maybe that would be helpful.
I heard a lawyer on the radio the other day, and it was like a national radio show, and I didn't hear the introduction, but I knew he was from Pittsburgh because you could hear his Pittsburgh accent.
What was he doing?
I forget even what he was talking about, but the way he was saying like downtown, you know, like that sort of. So we actually went out and asked Pittsburghers to give us some examples of not only the Pittsburgh accent, but also like phrases that are just uniquely Pittsburghese. So listen to what we heard.
Yins!
Yins is the ultimate, right?
Yes, it's the ultimate. And I lived in Baltimore for 18 and a half years, and there was words, slippy, nobody knows what that was, buggy, a shopping cart, don't know what that is. Yins, no, couldn't say that.
I used to live on the south side, but now I live on the north side.
I say like tire instead of tire,
Right.
towel instead of towel, you know. But I call them gum bands.
Oh yeah.
I work downtown.
Oh, that was
Downtown?
Downtown.
Downtown?
Yeah, downtown. Yins.
South side.
Yeah, both good. Yeah.
I have heard "red up your room," and family members use that a lot.
Where's the wash rag? Wash rag.
Wash rag.
Wash
Yeah.
rag.
My colleague just used the word, is it Gutchies for underwear? Yeah, she was like, yeah, you gotta get your Gutchies.
Yeah, Gutchies is underwear.
I've never heard of Gutchies.
Actually, until yesterday, I had heard it but didn't know what it was. But Maria, our floor director, she's like, "Oh yeah, Gutchies."
She knows. I'm gonna Uber down to KDKA. How did that sound?
I think that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So anyway, we're going to talk to Andy Masick a little later on about Pittsburghese and the Pittsburgh accent and all of that. He has lots of info for us.
Oh yeah, and I'm curious too because I don't know, you know, exactly where it originated from too.
Right.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
We will learn. We always learn from Andy. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, speaking of pronouncing things, so I have a pet peeve.
I want to hear it.
So it is like when someone in my household, in fact, will pronounce a word.
Gary?
Yeah, it's Gary. Will pronounce some words as a noun when he means them as a verb.
Oh, no.
So like I have examples. So like the first one here, we just want to share with you what I'm talking about. If you're like, what is he talking about? So you pronounce things differently. So like the first word is conduct. So as a noun, you say, your conduct tells us a lot about you. But as a verb, it's or no, that's the same sentence. That's the same sentence. As a verb, it's I conduct myself in a friendly way.
Okay,
Right,
now
so,
what does Gary do? He just...
Well, that's actually not, that's just as an example. That's not what he does. But we're getting to the one that he does. All right, so the next one is permit or permit. So like as a noun, I'm getting my hunting permit. I am permitting my son to stay out past curfew. So see, it's a different emphasis on the syllable. So here's the one that gets me though. So the last one, we're talking about TV shows. He says, or you should say, the show is a repeat. That's the noun. I wonder if they'll repeat the show. But he says, oh, I think the show is a repeat. And I'm like, no, it's a repeat.
No, it's
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would bother me too, I think.
I mean, I adore Gary, but you know,
The little things. Everybody has little things.
I didn't intend on like revealing that on TV. I was just going to talk about the words and not. So if he's watching right now, I love you, Gary.
You're the best, Gary. It's funny though, when I actually started doing traffic at KDKA 2 years ago now, I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary, I caught myself a lot saying Swissville or Millville.
Oh, yeah.
instead of Vale, Mill Vale, Swiss
right.
Vale, and now I've corrected that, but that is a Pittsburghese thing.
And you know what? And I know I still mispronounce some words, and someone will point it out to you, and you're like, oh, yeah, I meant to fix that. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to have fun talking to Andy a little bit later on.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's all for the grammar lesson.
Grammar lesson is over now. But we have some exciting other news. Are you a fan of the Golden Girls? Because if you are, there's something coming to Pittsburgh that will probably excite you. Do you watch the Golden Girls?
I don't regularly, but I have. I've seen many episodes.
Well, it turns out they have created this Golden Girls puppet show. And so Blanche and Sophia and Rose, they're all coming.
How cute.
How cute is this?
Oh my gosh.
So it is coming to Pittsburgh. It's going to be at the Byham Theater in October. Tickets are on sale now. And that Golden Girls show has become one of the biggest off-Broadway smash hits. And, you know, they talk about cheesecake. They talk about shoulder pads, all this stuff from the 80s.
Jazzercise, David.
Yeah. Oh, look. And they really look like
I know,
them,
you can tell
they?
who each character is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So anyway, we just had to share that with you because we were excited about it.
I love the Golden Girls, but I love puppet shows too. It's so entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think people really like that. So I'm excited for that. Coming to the Burgh.
All right, we need to buy our tickets. Celina.
Yeah, I'm buying them.
We need to do that. All right, so something else that attracted our attention, people are not using their vacation time apparently.
Why is that?
Like paid vacation time, they're not using it. And 2 surveys have come out about this, and 54% of employees in America say they don't take all their time because they fear they will be replaced.
Oh.
So Marie's looking at us like,
Not
what?
me.
No, I'm taking my time. And they also say that whenever they're on vacation, they continually check their emails.
I'm guilty
do
of that. And going into the future, whenever I take a trip coming up, I'm really going to work hard to not do that.
To disconnect from the phone.
Every day I'm always checking my email. I'll even be updating social media, not work related, but I want to take a break from all of it.
Yeah.
Next trip,
I think it's so
putting the phone
important.
away.
I think that's brilliant.
Why is it with me now?
Well, I have said before, I want to open a bed and breakfast where when people check in, you have to place your phone in a lockbox.
I like
that. And so you can totally disconnect. Or better yet, just not have any phone service where my bed and breakfast is or Wi-Fi. Like build it out in the middle of the woods where there isn't
I
any.
hope you do this. I'm going to be the first guest.
Really?
I will book.
Okay. That's my backup
I'll support you.
career. Okay. All right, something that I know they were talking about in the newsroom before we came in, Lisa Washington was talking about this. So the U.S. Energy Department has come out with a recommendation that you should set your thermostat while you're home. This is to save energy. You should, while you're home, set it at 78. 85 while you're away, and while you're sleeping, 82.
I know it. You know, we were talking about this earlier, and Lisa was like, "What?" And I was like, "What? I could never do that."
Everyone was like, "What?"
But Ron Smiley says that he can easily do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I know 68 degrees is my favorite.
Me
to
and you
sleep.
both, David. I like a really chilly room so I could snuggle under the covers.
Right. I don't know how. I mean, I understand that it's to save energy, and even the federal government isn't in agreement on this because the CDC actually put out it should be between 75 and 80.5 in spring and summer.
Yep. I agree with that. When you're on a trip, when you're away from home, I understand they said if you want to set it to 85, but when you're home sleeping 82, that's a little too hot.
It would be hard. I'd be throwing all the covers off.
Me too. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I don't think so either.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we disagree with the we disagree with the Department of Energy for what that's worth. All right, and the last thing we want to mention before we get started with the show is goats.
My favorites.
Yeah, because you did the goat yoga.
I love goats.
And so now that same group of goats is helping out the University of Pittsburgh, and they put it on Twitter, some video. They have a hillside there, and so they... And
they're helping with landscaping.
Look how cute they are.
They can do it all, David.
They can do it all.
They're back. They can do everything.
Well, and it's a really steep slope. I actually was driving past when they were doing this, so I saw this a couple weeks ago, and it would be hard to get equipment, a lawnmower or something up there, but they just go nibble away and they clear this space and got the area ready for the kids that are coming back this week.
They said the animals have been clearing overgrown vegetation since July now, which that's pretty cool. So it's all a part of their sustainability plan.
It
Look
makes
at those goats. They're doing a good job.
And they're happy. And apparently it would take 160 hours and 20 gallons of fuel to do what the goats did there on that project. Yeah, they're from Have You Heard Goatscaping Company.
I hope they're getting paid. And food, maybe.
Well, that's probably how they get paid.
Yeah.
I doubt they have a union or anything. They're working
Not
on
yet. They're working on
They're working on that. All right. We are going to take a quick break so we can get to today's guest. So Yins, keep watching because we're talking with History Center CEO Andy Masek about why we talk the way we do, the history behind Pittsburghese, and also some of our unique sayings. That is coming up next. Andy's ready for us.
Oh, stay tuned for that, Yins. We are also in the kitchen cooking with Raina, making hot dogs today. But not just any old dogs. These ones have extra flavor, and we're going to be making them. I can't wait. You know what? Top dogs coming up next.
Plus, you know, morning traffic reporter Bonnie Diver. Now she has a new gig in addition to a regular job, one that involves her passion for sharing stories of survival. We're going to talk to Bonnie about that coming up. Thanks for watching PTL on this Wednesday, August 21st. It's Wednesday already. As we count down the last days of summer. I don't like saying that. I want summer to continue. All right, we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere.